this law is not meant to disrupt the property market or the rental market. And after all, the interests of both the landlord and the tenant are not mutually exclusive. Because after all, from the landlord perspective, if the tenant is still there, it's just that they're undergoing some short-term cash flow issues, not being able to pay up the rent for the time being, then the continued existence of the tenancy agreement may continuously help to facilitate each other to ride through these current economic difficulties and to allow the tenant to revive its business going forward. When the business comes back, then it may be able to pay up the rent. Because after all, in terms of the landlord itself, it may also incur extra cost if they need to find another tenant. At the same time, whether they can get another tenant is also a potential unknown. And so from the landlord perspective, having the tenant there, yet at the same time, with this law in place to facilitate them to ride through this difficult period, can potentially be a plus. And from a tenant perspective, I think it's obvious that when they are undergoing this short-term cash flow issue, then with this moratorium, then they may be able to relieve some of their short-term burdens on their finances and able to pick themselves up going forward when the COVID situation improves. So after all, this is a mechanism that we intend to put out in such a way that the landlord and the tenant can sit together and to see how they can work this out together.